Hey, let's all grow boobs and we can be Memory Card Radio. How
I
about
think it'd
that?
be
How about
better if
that?
we did. Fucking
that?
how many shows?
Memory Card Radio.
Yeah.
We need to be
Memory.
women, actually, because I think if we did that, we would have a different demographic that isn't as represented. And then our Gamergate conversations would really take us far.
I agree.
Yeah.
Sex change operations for the business. I actually have boobs, so it's all good.
I think we need a Sarkeesian. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the funniest
Real
thing
talk.
we got.
I need a Sarkeesian.
I saw some fucker sign a petition on Facebook about a needs a Sarkeesian who never cared about anything else, and I'm just like, really? This is the thing that gets you to care? Is that she's working on Mirror's Edge too? Fuck you.
I almost
right
don't
now.
care about it.
Fucking
So.
you sexist.
She's hot.
Talking
She is
purely
cute.
about her physical form,
cute.
you bet.
I would never tell her she's hot. I don't know how she would react, but I think she is.
I have a weird. I like her hoop earrings. She
Yeah,
always
she
wears
got
them and they're
cool
always
earrings.
good. I like them.
I like
She has really
girls
nice
with
earrings.
dark hair like that, like dark features and dark eyes and dark hair.
Yeah.
I like feminism.
I'm a feminist, and so that means I
I like
love
women that vote.
I am Steven the lesbian, basically. That is just...
Yeah.
my
We don't have to
Women
put
that
this
get
in
paid
the
the same as
episode if we
men.
don't want.
King of the
Holy
lesbians.
We don't have to put this in the episode.
Can we bring her as our special guest on the show?
Anita?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, we'll just get
Call her
so
up.
much hatred. Okay.
She only responds though if you text her first and say, "Hey, bitch." Everything else is white noise to her at this point.
I don't...
That's racist.
You fucking bastard. Have you learned nothing from the feminist
that what-
movements?
Multicultural noise.
Is that what you think it is when
Emma
I talk?
Watson
It's white
is
noise.
just mad at you. White noise?
European noise. Sorry.
White.
European American. noise.
African
Anglo
noise.
noise.
Who's to
Okay.
say that Africans can't be gamers?
Me.
Okay.
John, he really doesn't believe in that.
Fucking.
Yeah.
It's in the Bible.
They're the wrong color.
When was the last time you saw like a National Geographic episode about
I did have a
Africa and they're playing
realization
video
recently.
Yeah,
games?
I mean,
Remember?
they got to get other shit first.
Yeah.
They gotta
Name
get
a single
VCRs.
black game developer. I cannot think of one.
Me.
John.
You don't know. You don't know that much about me.
First of all, I'll grant you you're black,
Yeah, he is playing.
but I didn't know you made video games.
I made one video game.
What was it?
It's called Clown Run. I shit you not. It's on newgrounds.com still.
Oh wow.
And it's actually, I went back and played it the other day because I made it in high school. I was like dicking
Okay.
around with Flash.
It's really good.
And I feel like it's not done, obviously. It's like
Okay.
it needs more, but
Okay.
I think it's enough to start a Kickstarter campaign with. And like show, this is what I want to
Clown
elaborate on
Runner.
this. Clown
Let
Run.
me
I
ask
love
You're
you
a
a
little
Clown
guy.
Runner.
It's
Do
over,
you think
it's
this is
overhead.
the
You're running
next
from
No
clown
Man's
heads and collecting
Sky?
crystals.
That's amazing.
Is this the next No Man's Sky?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I can have.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Memory Card Radio.
Ah!
I feel like you're going to hear the beginning of our conversation because I'm not.
You went so
Yeah,
suddenly
maybe.
after the last thing. I'm wondering where you're going to start.
I'm a master editor though, I don't know.
With
I can
Master
put like an
Max.
elephant noise over it.
No,
That's
we
true.
keep the beginning because it was the best part of the conversation.
I don't know if we keep the beginning.
Oh, yeah, we're keeping the
I
beginning.
keep everything. We should flip that though.
Yeah, we could.
They don't. Now we have to edit.
I could. No, we don't.
No,
I
we
could
don't.
just disappear. No, I'm going to ruin the illusion. I can stand.
Cross fading out right now.
Can you like put a JPEG of him just sitting in the chair
Do I know like
so no one notices?
I'm gonna put a JPEG of Donkey sitting there.
Do I look like someone who knows what a JPEG is?
A jibber?
JPEG.
Have you
Yep.
seen that episode of King of the Hill where Hank is like at a computer store and someone says JPEG and he goes, "Do I look like I know what a JPEG is?"
No. It sounds like it's probably a newer one.
King of the
I haven't seen a
Hill.
lot of the newer ones.
And the subtitles are JAY hyphen
That is one of the few
PG,
cartoons
JPEG.
that legitimately, as long as it had been on, remained good all the way until the
I agree.
end.
It's so
It's really
good.
good.
It's
Yeah,
so
it is.
good.
But it's consistent.
Yeah, it is.
And that
it
is-
doesn't have a weak episode.
Like,
from what I've
well,
seen.
not just an episode, but like you're talking about entire series. Like every show at least went downhill at a part, right? Like look
Right.
at Family Guy or Simpsons or whatever.
They all have low points.
Fucking King of the Hill was. You've seen one. You're consistent quality.
Mike Judge knows what the hell he's
He
doing.
does, man. Everything he's done
you
is
see
great, except Daria.
what was his HBO
don't like
show
Daria.
that happened
I
recently?
thought it was okay.
What was the
When you
HBO
compare it to his
one?
other stuff, I don't think it. quite
Silicon
I'll give you
Valley.
that.
You guys see Silicon Valley, his newest show?
No, I
it's
want to.
really good.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's like if The Big Bang Theory was funny. It's really
Oh shit!
good.
So the IT crowd.
Office
It's
Space, too.
basically
Office
like
Space is
IT
hilarious.
crowd,
I
but
forgot that was Mike Judge.
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Holy shit!
You can kind of tell, like, just the way the
Wow.
characters are.
That's
They're just,
true. That's
they're
so-
I never
like,
saw
normal yet
Extract.
interesting.
Was that any good?
Well,
That was Mike Judge.
What?
Extract.
No, I never saw it.
I never saw
oh, Extract was
Is it
okay. That was one with Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was okay. It was okay.
I think Beavis and Butthead holds up pretty good too.
It holds
It's
up. I like
stupid as it
Dari. I
is.
don't care. It was a good.
Have
film.
you heard this story of how Mike Judge got his voice for Boomhauer?
No.
No.
He was on, I believe he was either Jimmy Kimmel or Seth Meyers' show or whatever, one of his shows,
Late
and
night
he's
shows.
yeah, one of those late night shows, and he was being interviewed, and he's talking about, have you ever, what was some of the hate mail, voicemails, whatever you got for Beavis and Butthead, and there was this like real country dude who called in about Beavis and Butthead, but he thought the show's name was Porky's Butthole. Hey man, I don't like that episode of Porky's Butthole last night.
How do you say?
I don't know.
It doesn't even look like that.
He thought the show was called Porky's Butthole, but the guy sounded like Boomhauer. That's where he got the idea for Boomhauer, was a guy who gave him a hate voicemail about Beavis and Butthead. That's what Boomhauer is.
That's
Like
funny.
Porky's
I love
Butthole.
Boomhauer. I also like how he's like kind of like promiscuous. They just kind of put that in. He's kind of like the Glenn Quagmire of the neighborhood.
A little bit.
A little bit.
He
He's
has like
kinda like-
zebra underwear you see sometimes, and like he's kind of a ladies' man.
He's like the South Park Kenny.
How,
He's
though?
the one guy you don't know what the hell he's saying, but he's always contributing. In
He
some
can't
way.
talk.
Oh, by the way, I just made the connection from Office Space to other Mike Judge stuff. The guy that's like, I believe you have me stapler. That's the guy who voices Bill.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't think
Same
about that
actor.
until just now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But seriously,
I
if
can
you
do
can
his
check
voice.
out Silicon Valley, it is
Silicon Valley.
brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Like it takes an episode or two, but it's basically, it's not him about tech people, it's him about Google people.
Video games?
That is video games.
What are we talking about?
Video games? I think.
We were talking about Silicon Valley.
We're talking about games.
They had a Mass Effect joke, so it counts.
Okay.
They were like, that's as lame as the ending of Mass Effect 3.
Oh,
That was
shit.
like the only bad joke in the entire series.
Shots
and it happened in
fired.
video game.
Shots fired.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Memory Card Radio.
Whoa! I
Ah!
always do that. I don't know why.
No,
It
it's,
just comes out.
I
Well, it's
hope
the hype train.
I hope you can add in all of this.
It doesn't work for rappers. Just
That's
works
what
here.
normal trains go choo-choo. The hype train goes, ah!
With your hosts, Max,
Ah!
John,
Hey!
and Eric.
Ah!
I would just sound like dying whales or something.
As we
It's,
rip off other shows like Continue.
Yeah.
But we don't
Shit.
play games, so we're worse.
And we don't have a
Fuck
green
off.
screen. No chroma
We
key
got
here.
a green shirt.
That's, oh shit.
If you're watching us, I feel sorry for you.
The joy of painting.
You have the absolute best shirts.
Thank you.
No, and you're like the King Hill of shirts.
I'm
They're always
really
good and they're
bland.
consistently good.
Okay.
There's no
Just like
downfall.
Mike Dunn.
Thank you.
You never wear a shirt and I'm like, not the good one. But they're all good.
This is, I think, my second best shirt. First,
Now, if you took
best
off
shirt
a
being
shirt, do
Paula
you
Deen
have
one.
like a tattoo?
I
Because I
don't.
feel like you have to have consistent
I like your What the
quality
Poop
even
ones
when
too.
you remove it.
I like What the Poop.
What the Poop is a good shirt. I
you
like
get them
my
at
Paula
games
Deen
or something
one.
or online?
Game noise.
Mostly online.
Okay.
This one was online. I don't know why, but like people locally here don't like good shirts, so they don't carry them
I've
in Target
noticed
or
that.
Walmart or like
Unless
anywhere.
you'd like WVU shirts. There's really not a lot around here for you.
There was I worked at Target for like a year and a half, and one of my least favorite things about that store was, usually when you work in a store and you get the discount there, you look around at the stuff and you want to buy the stuff all the time. It's a problem. At Target, I worked in the clothes. I wanted to buy nothing.
Right.
All the jeans sucked. All the shirts sucked.
I
Here's what
never
I hate.
get clothes at Target.
I went shopping at Target for clothes. I couldn't find anything I liked.
Here's how bad their shirts are. So they do this thing where they'll take like really worn out memes that just like phrases that suck, and they'll put them on. They'll just slap them on a pop culture icon. Like it'll say they'll have Mr. Rogers, but instead of saying it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood or nothing, which would have been better, it
Right.
said it's all good in the hood. Like, you fucking ruined the shirt.
Yeah, it would have
That's
been
the
great if it
worst
was
thing
just
ever.
him. Just Mr. Rogers. would
Or
be great.
it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Well,
like
yeah.
anything.
Why
something, yeah.
don't we ruin Grumpy Cat with these shirts?
I guarantee Target already has.
They probably
How do you
have.
ruin something that's already ruined by its default? Oh, did we ever talk about the movie? Because I saw the Grumpy Cat movie.
Oh, I forgot.
I didn't
that
know there was a
real.
Grumpy Cat movie.
Oh!
I was too busy watching the Fred movie.
Oh! The Grumpy Cat
Oh,
film
no.
was the longest 2 hours of my life. So it
2
was-
hours.
It
It's
was
Fred.
2 hours. There were-
Hey, it's Fred.
what was interesting about that movie
That's
is
2005
that
shit.
not only was there more commercials in film, but the film was composed of commercials. Because they will stop the movie with the cat just talking about how you can buy its merch. And it was
Wow.
the worst experience of my
That
life.
sounds
It
really awful.
tried as hard as it could to be self-aware, which was code name for I don't give a shit.
Right.
And it
Thin
just
line
made,
between the two.
It actually made it way worse because the self-awareness just hurt more because you know it's bad and they know it's bad, but they do it.
Right.
And it was so generic in every single way, but with advertising and.
Kind of like Duke Nukem Forever.
And I'm gonna be honest, the Grumpy Cat is really sad when you look at it in motion because that is a cat suffering from dwarfism, and the cat looks like it's in pain. In a picture, you don't see that. You see the face, and it's
Right,
cute.
and there's always a funny caption with it too.
When you
so,
see
know.
him move, his arms don't work properly, or her arms don't work properly, and she
No.
just looks in
Man.
agony.
Like, these humans are making all this money for me, and I get nothing.
The worst part of the movie,
She's
the
probably
villains
getting
were the
best
people
veterinary
making the
cat
money off
care
of the
she could ever
cat.
get now, though. you
I
know.
would hope.
I mean, if I
Doing all
don't
the
know how
tricks
much
to keep it alive.
I'm sure that's been monetized in one way or another for that owner.
That cat,
So that cat's getting good veterinary
That
care,
cat
I would
is
say.
made
At least there's that.
at like $100 million. And for the record, the owner of the cat. So the story of Grumpy Cat is that there were two guys that were literally looking for a meme to capitalize off of.
One
and they
meme to
found
rule them all.
They found it and they marketed it, and that is the cat.
That makes me sad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that poor
Vultures.
fucking cat.
Meme vultures.
I prefer the accidental animal memes, like
Like Dog.
there was that. There was
like
Keyboard
that.
Cat was more or less an accident.
Yeah.
There's a guy. His name is Brad. I can't remember his name. It was like this really old. He worked at, I think, a TV station. It was this like really old, like public domain footage he found that no one was doing anything with. So he bought the rights from the station and uploaded it on YouTube, and that's like his thing.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that wasn't like, I don't know.
That's
he
a
just,
great- that's
he
a
just
great
found like a
genuine
funny
one.
thing. He's like, oh man, I want
That's
the
fine.
world to see this. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
as long as you're not torturing a poor animal for the sake
I
of.
could probably find some stuff like
Brad
that. on Channel
O'Farrell.
3.
Brad O'Farrell is his name.
O'Farrell.
And when I say torture
An
the
Irishman.
animal, I mean they bring
An
the
Irishman.
animal, they bring the Grumpy Cat everywhere. I mean they brought the Grumpy Cat to a wrestling match for promotion.
Wow.
So the cat like just wants to sleep, and there's all this screaming and yelling, and the cat's just dragged along. It's awful.
Can cats hear better than humans, or is it only dogs?
Probably.
I
Because
feel
if
like
so,
hear
they probably
better.
got some hearing damage from that as well. So hope you
I would
enjoy
say
your
so.
money.
I guess
Yeah,
now
yeah.
he truly is a grumpy cat.
Game Awards.
What? Oh, awards.
They were good.
I forgot who won.
I was really pleased with it.
Dragon Age won Game of the Year.
I was thinking that, yeah, they did, I think.
They did.
If they were to put on a show that good last year,
How do you
they
feel?
wouldn't be stuck on the internet right
Do
now, I
you?
don't think.
Here's the thing. I think that's why this was good, or at least
Maybe.
decent.
Maybe they needed
You
that.
can knock some things about it, but it was well presented. There were some pretty good reveals. It was professionally handled. And honestly, I think the fact that they lost Spike TV, Doritos, and Mountain Dew made it far more dignity.
You know, I
Less
just
chefs in the kitchen, maybe.
I miss Joel McHale. You nerds.
I hate
But
that
like, here's the thing:
I don't like him.
everyone was respectful
liked
to the
him.
audience. It was
Yeah.
it was 2 or 3
guy.
hours.
It felt higher brow.
And you know
even
what?
though It wasn't that
was
high
a
brow.
success. There were 2 million people watching it,
Mm-hmm.
and they made plenty of money to continue. And the word of mouth was good from everyone. Jeff Keighley put in his own money, and he's getting it
What
back.
was your favorite aspect of it? We'll go around the table, and by around I mean across.
I feel like we're all gonna say the same thing.
Maybe
They showed Zelda, man.
that Zelda.
They showed fucking Zelda. It's open world.
I wish I could give a different answer, but that was all I've seen of it. I didn't watch it. I saw the
You didn't
Zelda.
watch it?
No.
Oh man, it was
Dork.
good.
I don't have
Solid.
cable. I didn't.
It wasn't on cable.
I
It was
know.
literally
Oh.
only internet.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I only have cable to change my answer, and
And it was on cable internet.
I don't have a computer.
You have an iPhone.
I
It was
don't.
streaming on.
It's an Android.
It was streaming
That's
on
why.
like
It works
Androids-
on Android.
Androids don't have internet, so
Yeah,
What?
that's true.
I
They
have
don't-
an Android.
that
It
is the
has
one
internet.
reason.
I'd
iPhones-
give you my phone.
That's fake internet. It's not real.
it's fake.
It's all inside your phone.
What was
It's,
your favorite part of the video game?
I really enjoyed seeing Zelda.
That was
but
Zelda.
I really liked the concert with the guy that was playing the laser instrument.
Oh, that was cool. Where it's
That
like,
was and he wasn't just playing like the Mario Overworld theme. He was playing hard music. He played the Chemical Plant Zone music from Sonic 2.
Oh, yeah.
That's a tough song.
Now-
and the Street Fighter theme.
I can
the Guile
counteract
theme,
that
that's
though
hard.
with easily the worst moment, which was the Battlefield Hardline band that literally had their faces blurred because they didn't want to be there, and they had cops beating the shit out of people on screen.
I don't even think I saw that.
That it was halfway through. It was a
Doritos.
generic rock song,
Yeah.
and it was just this band that didn't want to be there, and it was just like, you know, that game is so Ferguson the game, and I feel sorry EA, but man,
Ferguson
it is,
the game.
Well, hear me out.
Oh, man.
It is a game where you play as,
is what that
as
is. That's what it's gonna
militarized
be.
police.
Oh, that's what it's going to be known as.
It
That's
already
sad.
is.
The timing, though.
The
Yeah,
timing
terrible
couldn't
timing.
have been better.
Oh,
I don't
poor
care.
Visceral. Poor Visceral.
I don't feel sorry for Visceral.
They made Dead Space. I really liked them.
Yeah, and they Dead Space 3 was terrible, and EA is just trying to ruin it. This is going to be what's going to happen with Visceral. Either A, this game is a huge hit, and then they're forced to make Battlefield games for the rest of their existence, or B, the game fails and they're gone. Either way, you lose.
Yeah, their creativity's gone, I guess.
Their creativity is gone, and Dead Space 3 was awful.
It was okay.
No,
Eric.
it wasn't.
It wasn't
It
awful.
had
That's a strong
microtransactions.
word.
The moment you add that, everything.
It was a Dead Space game.
No,
it was less than 1 and 2.
It's
not like it turned into like an 8-bit
into
game or
Gears
something.
of War. It was a
Sorta.
bad game.
It was not as good as 1 and 2.
It was a bad game.
The fact that it had co-op was fun.
Bad.
Did you ever play
Not a
co-op
good-
with anybody?
I played the whole game. I beat it.
Did you
with
beat
a
as
friend?
Carver?
Yes, I played
I thought
it
his
with a
story
friend.
was
It
very
It was
interesting.
all awful. It was a terrible game. Don't make it.
Mr. Contrary.
I've been
never
playing
played
Game
Dead
Dev. I've been
Space
playing
3.
Game Dev Simulator, or Game Dev Tycoon.
Yeah,
It's a good game.
it's addictive. Isn't it?
I have 3 hours in it right now.
What's your
Should have won
company?
Game of the Year.
What's your company?
My company is called BOP. BOP.
You know,
I
you
like
can't
that, actually.
actually
It's
win
good.
Game of the Year,
Bop.
and that's always
Bop.
weird in that game.
B.O.P.
Have you made any
Bop.
perfect score video games yet?
I had a 10, 10, 10, 9.
I have never.
What'd you call it?
Never made.
Oh
a perfect
gosh, I think
game.
it was called. It was like some nonsense name. It was like Bram, Gramp,
Grimp.
I'm sold.
Parm,
Parm.
See, what-
Parmb, Parm.
if you
I love
want
all
the real
those
money,
words together. That's so good.
just
That's
pick
probably
Rockstar
neither of those are
games.
probably.
Just be like Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto 3 2, Grand Theft Auto Vice City,
Oh, I did
Grand
want-
Theft Auto San Andreas. You'll make all the money.
My first game to break 1 million was Man Guy, and Man Guy 2 didn't do that well. I'm gonna be honest. On the Vonnie Play System.
Yeah, I hate the name.
The Vonnie Play System is not where
I really like the name Bop. for a
I've
studio.
started trying
Bop!
to play with
I'm
the
really digging
random
that. We
system
should start
order.
that.
It's all caps too. It could have stood for something, but I was actually playing a game of League of Legends before that, and I was this character named Malphite.
Here we go.
I was this character named Malphite who he like punches the ground, and anything near him goes up, and I always yell "Bop" when I play. Like "Bop!"
Do you have any audio recordings of that?
Probably.
You should rip the sound from it and use that as like the logo.
Oh
Bop.
my god!
You hear you scream
Bop! Bop!
I like that.
Boomity bop.
It's really
No,
satisfying.
I can't say that. You'll rape someone. That's
Bopping
bad.
is the
Bippity
best.
bop, maybe.
Bop.
Bippity bop,
Bip
bippity
doop dop, skibbity bop.
Bill Cosby's face just flashes on for 1 frame.
That's that trigger warning.
What did I just
Trigger
say?
warning.
Trigger warning.
Bippity bop.
That's true. That man, I don't know. I've always liked making fun of him, and now it's gonna have like a.
Now
thing
it's
attached
like
to it.
sad.
Yeah, now it's gonna have like this thing attached to it. That's
Dr.
it.
Huxtable.
Yeah.
Looked up to him.
Why
Damn
did you
shame.
do this to me specifically, Bill Cosby? You hurt me.
You didn't just date rape those women. You date raped us all.
Well, it wasn't just a woman. It was.
Date
He's a
rape?
serial
I was
rapist.
gonna say it was like a lot.
It was like 13 women. He just continues going in town. He's like, I wonder who I can get away with today. And he just like opens the door and just drags them. And he's like, I got pudding pops in the basement. Not the kind you, not the kind you expected.
the basement.
Open your diddly hole and let it slide.
Censor all of that.
Open the diddly.
No.
Diddly doodly doo.
No.
This got so low brow.
not
I
a-
was in Leonard Bond 6.
We need to talk about tax exemptions real quick.
For these
Get
5
this back
minutes,
up.
I am not on this podcast.
That's all right. I'll edit. I'll put a JPEG of Bill Cosby up, and then it's all cut.
As
And
long-
it'll start.
As long
now.
as his face is.
And start now. We're not talking about Bill Cosby anymore.
Why can't we?
Joe Biden, the video game, coming out next year.
Dude, that's awesome.
That was going to be my next game.
What
when I was sticking
about
around on
the
Flash.
Sony
Was gonna be Joe
Awards?
Biden Saves the
Biden-
Universe.
It's gonna be the sequel to Mirror's
There's
Edge.
more video game award shows.
I just wanted to be a top-down shooter, but you just
We gotta talk about the Sony Awards.
yeah.
Where they
Yeah, but-
announced no awards. That was a failure on their
But first, can someone go into the Steam Workshop and replace the main character in Mirror's Edge with Joe Biden?
Bop.
petition that.
Yeah.
Faith no more.
Sorry.
I made the worst pun ever made. Because it
Mirror's
was
Edge
Mirror's Edge, and I said Faith no more.
Oh, that's the name of the.
Band.
The woman from the game, the character in the game with the name and the face.
I like her hair.
Yeah, I do too.
I like her tattoo.
I like everything about her. Actually,
She's cool.
I hate her personality.
Wasn't somebody didn't that stir up some controversy? Her character.
Yeah, probably.
No.
I feel like it did.
It
somewhere.
really did.
Probably.
That game was the I think the only
shouldn't have.
controversy with
I mean-
Mirror's Edge, the first one, was that all the the cutscenes were Esurance commercials.
Yeah,
And-
I actually made that exact same comparison. I was like, this is fucking insurance.
I love Mirror's Edge. It is one of the greatest games you can get
It's
your
probably one of
hands
the
on.
prettiest games I've ever
It's
seen.
pretty,
too.
it's fun,
so-
but my God, there is no worse story in video gaming. That is a really bad one.
Yeah.
Thank God it's
Yeah.
not story driven. Like,
It's not. You can skip
Yeah,
those
it's all about the
cutscenes.
gameplay and just the visuals.
It's all
Yeah.
about the gameplay.
It's
I'm
really,
fine
really
with.
satisfying to play.
Because those areas excel so well, I'm okay with that.
This
being
is
all
why
that it really
the
has.
new Mirror's
Okay.
Edge is called Mirror's Edge, because they're just like, no one gives a shit, and we're just gonna make a new story with Faith, which is fine.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, what hurts me more is you have a decent backdrop for a story. Like, here's a carrier and it's underground, but like, ask me what the bad guys did. As far as I know, they just made the city clean looking.
That's true.
What did
I hope
they
they keep
do?
that same visual style though too,
The style
where
it's
everything's
good.
like everything is one fucking color.
I think
Like, this wall's fucking green. This wall's fucking blue.
It's going to be open
Like,
world, which just sounds awesome because
That does sound really neat,
I
actually.
love that game that it was linear, and I hope there's linear sections. But like,
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea that you can find ways to traverse rather than just going one.
Yeah, there really wasn't any exploring at all in the game.
Well,
That
yeah,
was
but
something they
it
could've
was
had.
linear, but it was like perfect, and
Yeah.
and like I want an Assassin's Creed style where it's open, but then there are like a couple moments that are pure linear, just so you can get the
Set piece type moments.
yeah.
I don't mind
settings.
linear for sometimes. It's
I
really
love-
nice to have
No,
direction.
that's
and
what
just
I'm saying.
Relax. and
Yeah,
I
like,
want
exactly.
both. Give me
Yeah.
both. You know,
Yeah.
like Far Cry.
You know-
Far Cry 4 did that.
Sometimes in games, I get this is I think just because I'm not good at a lot of video games, but I'll feel like I'm stuck or I'm not sure if I'm going the right direction, and then something will happen where I can't turn back and I go, yes, cool, okay, awesome. Like you fall off a ledge and you know you can't get back on it. I'm like, they meant for me to fall off this edge and not be able to get back up. I have to go forward.
Well, to be
Right.
fair, Mirror's Edge had another
I like
ability
that. Sadly, I
Yeah.
don't-
called press the button and it'll look at the direction you're supposed to go.
I think Dead
That's
Space
interesting.
handled that perfectly because
Yeah.
there's nothing that's on screen all the time like in Call of Duty where there's like an indicator that's always there and won't leave you alone and breaks the immersion. But Dead Space, like if you press in the stick, then it shows you a line, a little laser.
I love the.
and then it fades away.
Yeah.
the three-dimensional
That's
map in Dead Space is awesome.
Although, I
Yeah.
mean,
Mini
for
maps are
linear
never 3D.
games, I still think the best design game ever made, Half-Life 2. You don't get
that's
lost
good.
in Half-Life 2, and you feel like you should. Because
Mm-hmm.
it feels open, but you're always going the right direction.
Killzone
And
Shadowfall did a real good job with
perfect.
that. You can
feels like
play
you-
it linearly, but it's open.
It always feels like there's 4 directions to go, but then every single time you go
You
one
end
direction,
up in the same.
You go. It's the right direction, and then you're like,
It's
I'm a
perfect
genius.
game design.
Yeah, there's a science to that I'll never understand.
Yeah, I don't-
because as a player, you're not really supposed to understand how they made that. You know, and if they do it well, like you're talking about, you know, you don't feel like you're playing a linear game, but you are.
Exactly.
And that's
I enjoy it.
I'll never understand
Like,
how that's
like I
done.
love
That's
open
impressive.
world. I
Yeah, I'm
like
not that
linear. I don't think one is better than the other. I like both.
Yeah, I really enjoy linear games. It's never bothers me. when games do
Linear. If you're gonna do linear, do something cinematic or interesting.
Yeah,
with it.
like God of War or something like that.
God of War is linear and it's great. Uncharted is linear as
Very
shit,
linear.
but nobody cares.
Yeah. You're always outside. It doesn't feel linear.
Because I mean, that was
But it
why
is.
Call of Duty works for me. It's like it's linear as hell, but they know how to play around it. Mm-hmm. You know, or hell, Castlevania, one of the greatest games on the NES. You don't get linear than that. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
Go to the end of the level.
Although you can go backwards and do stuff too.
True.
Castlevania.
But
True.
there was the first one really didn't have
Break
reasons
bricks, get
to.
chicken.
Bam. Sony. I want
Papers,
to talk
Please.
about Sony.
Very linear.
So Papers, Please coming to Vita and iPhone.
Yeah, it is. Good.
And video games. Talking about Sony. Vita was
Vita
announced
got a
to
lot
have
of
game-
love, man.
Yeah, it got a lot of ports.
It
No
got a
original
lot of love.
content.
That's okay.
Just take out Vita owners.
I gave up on AAA original content on the Vita a couple years ago.
well, to be
It's
fair,
okay. I generally just play
Freedom
PS1
Wars.
games on it anyway.
You need Freedom Wars.
I have Freedom Wars. It's okay.
Oh.
I'm over Monster Hunter clones, man. It can be the best Monster Hunter clone ever made. I'm just over them. I'm over it. I
wouldn't-
played them all.
Danganronpa
I'm just
2.
done.
The reason I don't like Monster Hunter clones is that I've played Monster Hunter a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
I like
Monster
it.
Hunter's
There's
pretty
just, there's
damn
just not
good.
a place
I
for
have
them in my life
I have
anymore.
3 Ultimate on the Wii U. It's very
I
very
just
fun.
really like the idea, the plot for Freedom Wars. It just sounds awesome.
It's a great plot, and they execute it really well. It's like if it could have been more like a linear third-person shooter game, I think I would have liked it a lot more.
I don't know.
They just they took a really cool idea and just gameplay-wise, I mean, ultimately it's just another Monster Hunter clone, and it's a good one. There's no place for that for me anymore. I just don't like it.
No, I understand.
I like MOBs.
Great. I mean, if you're not burned out on that genre, then
Say
get it
wow.
because it's one of the best.
There's defense items and attack items.
Or
And
you
then I
don't
have
get
to
it because you're
just-
getting it for free one day anyway.
Probably.
I consider
It's what you love about the
PlayStation.
video. It's supported just enough to continue existing, but not enough for games to hold their value for very long.
Have any of you ever played Total War games? Because I have one.
I can.
And it's 22 gigs, and I don't know if I even want
What
to try
the
it.
fuck?
I'm going to tell you my experience
What the
with
fuck
Total
is
War.
It
wrong
looks
with
like Civ 5, but war.
Which one is it? Because I played Shonen 2.
It's Total War
the
Rome, I
samurai
think?
one.
That's not counting
Okay.
updates either, is it?
So
Shogun, I think is what
Shogun,
you're talking about.
yeah. So the thing with Shogun that I learned, I've tried to play Total War games so many times because they look like fun,
Yeah.
and I've realized like I love Civilization, I love strategy games. My brain cannot do it. I don't.
looks really
I have
big.
tried so hard to figure out how to
Just hit a
actually
wall.
play that game. I still
Oh,
don't
man.
know. I have put in 20 hours, and I still feel like a
Oh, man.
child just hitting buttons and a mouse randomly.
There are games like that. No, like Dota
I hate-
is
I
like
hate
that
that
for me.
feeling.
Dota 2 is like that for me all the
Yeah.
time.
How do you enjoy that?
Here's the thing. I kind of don't. Here's my point. Like,
Good.
so I broke recently 400 match wins on League of Legends. So matches are average of 45 minutes, and because of the matchmaking, I've lost just about as much as I've won. So say I've played about 800 or 900 matches on League that have 45 minutes. So I have a lot of experience with MOBAs, right?
Right.
I go over to Dota, and I put 10 hours into it, and I just don't get it. It's so similar. If you both looked at them playing
I'm-
neither
I'm
of them,
playing either one.
you would not be able to tell the difference.
I'm going to
It's
grant
that
you
simple.
this. I never tried League of Legends. I only tried Dota. And my logic for this was that was the one with the tutorial. That was the one that had like a little story thing that
I
let
think at
you
one time
learn how to
League
play
didn't
it.
have much of one. League has a good one now, but
Well, then maybe one day I'll try League. But I tried Dota, and I'm like, wow, I still don't get it.
this
it's
it's hard.
awful.
Dota's hard.
And I wanted
is
to
hard.
my that one because Valve, and I love Gabe Newell, and I wanted to suck on his tit.
Right. Yeah. That's why I tried it. I think I'm like, I want a thing that's integrated with Steam. My friend Josh has like 1,000 hours in it or something. I'm
Wow.
like, yeah,
That's cool.
The most hours I have in something on Steam is like 80. Team
See,
Fortress
I
2.
kind of want to try League. Not enough to actually do it. I've never downloaded it. I've
It's
never
fun.
tried to. I'm really turned off by the community from what I know about
I
it.
feel like
From what
one
I've seen
day
and
what
heard.
we have to
really
do
turned off by that
is
kind
on
of
this
stuff.
show. You have to be our guide, and we'll learn next to you.
That's
and you
fine.
can do
Okay.
this.
Well, here's the thing. Here's how I experience League. I have at least 4 friends that are on all the time. So like I usually during the day I'll play like 1 or 2 by myself if I feel like it, and then they're on later that night, and we all get in freaking Skype or TeamSpeak and we all play a game. If you're in a team with your friends, the toxicity on the other team doesn't matter because it's just funny.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
like look at him, he's mad, and the other team he's so angry at us. It doesn't matter because you're with your friends.
Well, fuck that.
Yeah, that would
Overwatch
help.
is coming out. I don't need y'all
And
league.
it's not as bad. I mean, I play CS:GO. I play all these
That
other
game's hard.
games.
I just play it for gun games.
I honestly don't think League
the
community is any
greatest
worse.
thing.
League community isn't any worse than like any other game. Honestly, online. I don't.
Well, I think the thing
really
is
don't
that
know.
with
I
League,
know
it is
some
a game
people
where
that-
you specifically impact the rest of your team.
I,
And if you don't know what you're doing, everyone will hate you.
It
As
depends.
opposed to like if when you're playing Counter-Strike, let's say you suck, right?
Yeah.
Well, you die, and then there's still other people that have a shot. You can ruin your team.
Well, if you're playing Counter-Strike and you have the bomb and you die near like 5 enemy people and they have the bomb.
Now, to be fair, I just play gun games. And
I love Counter-Strike.
I love Counter-Strike, but I swear when it was Source, all I did was Office.
Yeah.
That was all I did.
No, that's a
It was
good.
the
that's a
only
good- that's a
map
good-
I called it Office, the game, and then
That's a good-
and now I have Go, and all I do is
I kill
gun
people on the
games.
stairs. Go is fun. I enjoy
It was
it.
fun.
I'm
Well,
better at
you
Go
count-
than
you
I am Source.
Counter-Strike.
I've tried it a little bit. It's really fucking hard.
It's hard,
It
but
is.
it's fun.
I
It's
never
made me
actually
a
bought
better-
it myself. I played it at a friend's house for like an hour, and I was like, "This is really intimidating."
It's made me a better first-person
Counter-Strike
shooter.
is a lot
Oh,
more of a.
I'm sure it would. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the community is kind of fun in that though, because they're all like fucking nobody plays this shit.
People are pretty nice on CS:GO actually.
Yeah.
I was playing deathmatch. Deathmatches I think is the best way to practice that game because if you die, you respawn instantly and you can get any gun you want for free, and you just whatever team has the most kills by the end of the game, blah blah blah.
Simple.
So when I'm doing that, and like there's no pressure, no one gives a shit, so everyone's just super nice and making jokes and shit on the all chat. Like it's funny. Like I like Counter-Strike.
I like Counter-Strike because there's no revive, and there's something thrilling about getting like if you get them and you have a really good game and you get like 4 guys and you're still standing, you're like, yeah!
If you kill 2 people and you know you can only die once per round, it's like, I did better than those 2 people I killed.
I'm great.
Yeah.
I'm game of the year.
Yeah, it feels really good. Even if you just kill 1 person before you die, I'm like, that's 1-to-1 ratio.
I am the Sony press conference.
I still have a positive KD ratio.
I'm going to bring out the Sony press conference. Sony.
Also, disarming a bomb in Counter-Strike.
Papers, please.
You know what came
Papers,
to PS4?
please.
They announced Counter-Strike. They didn't, but it makes a great segue
Yeah, it does.
into this thing I've been trying to
Flound. They're
I
having
enjoyed
the
that
new-
more than I did the Game Awards.
I think it's fuck you, Square. Otherwise, it was
You're real mad about that.
Sony's
hilarious.
developing a new underwater
Everyone's
shooter.
so mad about this
I was
Final
on
Fantasy VII thing.
NeoGaf, and it was the funniest thing.
Ultimately, it's good news. I mean,
No,
we're gonna
it's
get,
not.
We're gonna
It's
get
a
to play
bad
it on the
news.
PS4 now with trophies.
I hate you.
Have you heard about their new underwater shooter? Use harpoon guns. It's called Flounder Strike.
Oh,
Coming to PS4.
Coming to PS4.
So first of all, before we get into the good, I have to explain. I'm on NeoGaf, right? I'm reading all the live reactions. Square Enix comes out, and you're thinking, what is this going to be? Is it going to be Type 13, 0 or whatever?
Is it going to be Kingdom Hearts with Star Wars?
Is it going to be Kingdom Hearts with Star Wars? Is it going to be Final Fantasy 15? All these things I'm excited for. And they're like, these many years, Final Fantasy 7. And you're like, what? No.
Oh, I heard about that. Holy shit. Yeah.
And everybody's like losing their
They
shit.
remade
at
it?
NeoGaf.
They remastered it?
They are delaying. They're waiting like a minute and a half hyping this. You can see the look on his face. He's like, Final Fantasy VII, the legendary title. It's a little old now, but we can solve that problem. And they put on the trailer, and everyone's going shit, and it's old footage, and you're like, oh shit, they're gonna do a Kingdom Hearts 3, they're gonna show the new footage, and then it just says coming. We're like, what? And then it's like, yeah, we're re-releasing it. Here's the PC port, and it's going to cost way more than the PC version. Fuck you, and then just walk off.
It's not remastered, to be clear.
it's not.
No.
They released this. They ported it.
It is the port of
It's a
the
port
PC
with
version.
trophies.
Yeah.
It's port with trophies.
And it's overpriced.
It is more
I'll give you
expensive
that.
than it on PS3. For reference, I feel this is important. You can get Final Fantasy VII for $10 on PS3 right now, downloadable. Not only that, but
Works on your Vita, too.
You can get PS2 Classics, a PS2 fucking game for $10.
I got it on Steam
This
for
is
7.
17, and you can get it really cheap on PC, and nobody's PC can't
It's
run
overpriced.
the damn
I bought
game.
Final Fantasy VII for $7 on Steam.
And what that announcement
Xbox 360
is,
support.
bigger than that, is that they will never give you backwards compatibility. Look, I get it for PS2 and PS3, but PS1 can run on a phone. Okay,
Yeah,
there's
yep.
no excuse other than they're trying to capitalize.
They totally
and when
are.
you've already bought the game digitally, that's pretty fucked.
Well, if they can get PlayStation Now to work the way it's supposed to work, that will be ultimately a better deal.
I would hope
than
so.
selling all the games one by one.
But
It'll be
that's-
like Netflix for games.
They're trying to jump on the HD bandwagon, and you're
Gamefly.
seeing it now, and it's actually really annoying with PS4 because like remaster to a PS3 was a big deal because you were turning something into HD.
Right.
Borderlands Remastered just got announced, and I'm like
Who
literally,
gives a fuck?
why? What is the remaster? That game came out in HD.
Yeah, the game looks pretty now.
It's
Yeah.
good.
Borderlands
If you
re-released.
have a PC, that thing looks fine. But
Yeah, it looks great.
like it's easy profit. You
I
just
hate
push
Gearbox
it
so
forward.
much. I hate everything they fucking do.
Square's like, you know that Final Fantasy X HD we did months ago? Coming to PS4. You just bought it, buy it again. And I'm gonna do it. To be fair though, I didn't get it
Final
on
Fantasy
PS3.
7 ported.
It's like I'm just sick of the ports. But enough of that. That was the only
It's a
bad thing.
it's a legitimate gripe. I just don't think it deserved the fiery vitriol.
It deserved the fiery because they
I
knew
think it's a bit
exactly what
much.
they were doing.
Yeah, they did.
They were
You have legit
building
everything
up
you're saying
hearts
is absolutely
and
right.
hopes
A
and
remastered.
stomping on
The
them.
thing about Final Fantasy VII, man, those graphics do not hold up.
They
today.
are rough.
They are
The
hilarious.
backgrounds still look good, but like
Yeah.
the characters look
They're a
like
little
shit.
blocky,
like
man.
7 polygons.
It's literally they're snowmen, but instead of snow, it's textures.
rough.
on
If
it.
they didn't
They're rough.
hint at
It
this
looks like a
for
Super Nintendo
years,
game.
between Crisis Core, the movie that came out, and the PS3 footage of the tech demo, like, we know what the game we want would look like.
Just say that.
Final Fantasy VII is shit. Okay.
You just pissed off the entire internet. Hurry up and clarify.
I love Final Fantasy VII. I think the announcement was terrible, and I want a look, I understand financially the difficulty of making the Final Fantasy VII remake. I think the problem is, right now, stop, Square. No one had any expectation until you reminded us that we wanted it. They literally brought people... It's like the Conquer thing from E3 when Microsoft showed Conquer on screen and then said, part of this shitty game you don't care about. Like, no one thought there was going to be a new Conquer announcement, but you put that in front of people and your heart sinks into your chest. And you're like... You feel like a child with excitement and you just crush it.
One other thing came up at the PlayStation conference.
That was the only thing.
God of War game.
I don't care.
New God of War game in development.
I don't care.
You like God of War?
I do, but that story's over. I feel like there's only one way you can make a sequel to God of War I'm okay with.
What?
Which is Kratos is the bad guy and you're a guy trying to kill Kratos.
New character.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be. Because
I don't hate that. That could work.
Because
they said it's not a prequel. They made sure.
Well, the thing is like Kratos.
It's in development. It's not a prequel. To me, that says reboot.
I have heard people say, that you could fight other religions, and that's stupid because it defeats the purpose of God of War. It's a Greek story. If you turn it anything, it becomes a parody.
Right. You're absolutely right.
And you're not going to get bigger than fighting all the gods of Greek. You can't go bigger than that.
He killed fucking Zeus. Where do you go?
It's over. That story
not
is
only Zeus,
done.
but everyone else.
The only thing I could see
and
is
himself.
You are a heroic person and you're going after Kratos. There is nothing else you can do that would work for me. And you give me that story and I can only see it for a game is the worst part. And don't ask me what you fight on the way to him because I can't figure that out.
I could get excited for a reboot.
But like...
Well, what do you think about a reboot? I think that's probably
I feel
our most
like it's already
thing.
perfect. Why reboot it? It's already perfect.
Modern hack and slash games are they're different now.
I have played God of War pretty recently. I have played it in the HD collection, and it came with the Saga.
That's the way to play it.
They're all great. Even the first one, which is H the most, still holds up.
Yeah.
Those are not games that need... A reboot says...
It doesn't need it.
A reboot, to me, says the series is so outdated that we need to do it
like Final
again.
Fantasy VII.
Well, Final Fantasy VII needs a remake because it is old and aged, and you want the same story. This is why people say remake. You want the same story presented in a cinematic way, with something a little more digestible where you're not distracted by old clunkiness, right?
Right.
God of War, if you reboot it, I always view a reboot as you failed. Reboot means, well, we didn't keep that series well. And I feel like Santa Monica, those guys are so brilliant. Like, you have all this untapped potential.
They're one of my favorite developers
They
out there.
are, but if you just stick with this one series, I don't want them to be known as just God of War.
Right.
Because they're capable of more than that.
I think they really wanted, like, the games they've been working on, like, they worked on Journey with that game company.
They worked on,
They worked on Unfinished Swan. Like, they're really trying to show that, hey, we're not just about ripping out fucking
But even then,
Greek
they were helping other
hearts.
developers. And God of War is their series.
Well, is that the only game that they've made on their own?
Yes.
Oh,
it's just God of War.
Yeah.
And
well, they definitely need to diversify.
Well,
definitely.
that's what I'm saying. And like, you reboot it, you're in trouble. I'll grant you a sequel. Ascension, I didn't like. And it also is a thing I like to bring out. Now, part of the reason is what I'm saying, which is it was a prequel. It was a step back.
Yeah.
You cannot go from fighting the gods to here are three guys that don't matter.
It wasn't just a step. It wasn't just a prequel. It was before anything interesting was going on in Kratos' life. It was before he was angry. Before he was an anti-hero. Therefore, before he was interesting.
But the combat was so repetitive by then because the combat was the same since God of War 1.
Yeah, and there were no extra weapons.
I've never played a God of War game.
Well, I've never played League of Legends, so feel how it hurts.
You gotta like hack and slash games, and not everyone likes them.
They're fun.
Like, you gotta like that kind
Dynasty
of game.
Warriors, I was a big fan.
Okay, well then you would, Dynasty
I
Warriors
feel
is
it's
actually more
different.
watered
This is
down
closer to like
Yes.
Devil May Cry, I would argue, because it's combo driven.
Yeah,
I only
It's
had Devil
definitely-
May Cry 2,
it's a lot like
which is
Devil May Cry.
considered like
The worst.
It really.
That's the only one I
I beat
have.
Devil May Cry 2 in one sitting, and I was pissed the fuck off. That game sucked.
One's still good.
1 is great, 3 is great, 4 is great. 2, I don't know what the fuck they did. They fucked that up
Oh,
somehow.
I'll tell you
it
what
was
happened.
awful.
I think they just hired a monkey and just went...
Dante, sword, go.
I think they're like, let's make him fight Nobunaga and
Jump
And
and
then-
press square, and when you hit the
I-
ground, jump up and press square
Instead
more.
of guys, instead of making a full game, we'll make half a game. We'll make a second disc where you play as the other character walking in reverse.
That was
No, get this. When you're shooting your pistols in the air, you stay in the armor like a rocket jump out the pistols.
He'll flip a coin. It'll be so cool, guys. He'll flip a coin.
It's going to be
Joke.
another disc with
It'll be
with a different
double-headed.
person. Instead of the pistol shares the projectiles.
You ever hear how they talk about that game still being canon? Because it's really fun. See ya.
developed
Bye.
by Bob.
But do you want to say bye? There, you've heard it.
They're trying to protect the
Damn it,
law.
Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
Chairs are kind of low.
Wow.
I talk like
I feel like a baby.
Actually, it's not so bad.
No. From being the man in the middle.
God. I talk like that on Counter-Strike Go all the fucking time. It's so much fun.
Wow.
No.
Oh, Peggy.
God damn it, Peggy. He
Never
says God damn it.
Never urethra.
God damn it, Peggy, my urethra hurts. Where's my urethra medication? Bobby, give it to the dog again.
Quit playing the goddamn video game.
Now you guys can talk and see if we can get some levels. God damn it.